you know, when you hear that, stuff is just going to get really weird, as it did back in 2003 with this Saint Anger by Metallica. So let's give it a quick. There we have it. The intro riff to Saint Anger. We're just going to review the song today, not the whole album, because you could spend months, years, decades discussing this, and none of it's going to make any sense. If you've ever seen the companion piece to this, a movie called Some Kind of Monster, you know that this is a very strange affair, and I think that's probably the best way to put it. It's a very strange affair, given the time in the band's existence. You know, it's not all bad. The riff, that's a kind of a cool riff. Like, hang on, I'll show you that. What we got? So they tune down a whole step and then go drop D on us, which gives us drop C, which gives us that sort of heavier sound in this particular track. And as I said, it's not all bad. They kick it off with a little quiet version of the riff, and then they gradually build. They introduce the drums, and they have this 4 on the floor sort of drum beat bit, and that's actually kind of really cool. Like, that sounds good. And then it goes into this kind of berserker bit, which might have been the sort of trendy thing at the time back in 2002 and 3 and all that. But yeah, it just sounds like a mess. And then they go to this clean riff where the vocals kick in, and there's sort of a time change, which is real jarring, and that's kind of, jarring to say the least. Like, but it's gets you to another bit of the song, and then they sing. They get into the chorus, I guess you could call it that, and then they do that. They sort of just copy and paste the song. It's like they had it in Cubase or Pro Tools, and they were just like, oh yeah, that bit's good. Let's just, Control C, Control V. Let's make the song go for a bit longer. And then it goes into like a bridge bit, which is just basically the opening riff again. And with that berserkery bit for a while. And then they bring it home with a chorus, which again gets the job done, I guess. I remember there was this day I was driving in the car, like I was driving my mum somewhere of all places, and me and her were like, hey, we haven't heard from Metallica in a while. Whatever happened to Metallica? And this was back in 2003. Like, we're driving out to a regional area, and then just as some kind of random serendipity kind of thing, about 90 minutes later, this came on the radio, and it's like, here's Metallica's new single, Saint Anger, and we're like, holy hell, that's a hell of a thing. And we both just were like, what on earth did we just listen to? Like, what was that? So I can see, I like the song, but yeah, it's a very strange one, especially, if you followed the band since like the 80s, from like a Ride the Lightning days, and Master of Puppets, like the sort of stuff we grew up with. And then you get to this, and it's just like, what on earth is this? And like a million other people have commented about how strange the drum sounds are. I'll be honest, I don't have a problem with it, but I don't really like the berserker bit, the bit where Lars is going all out, because you can't really hear anything. It's all kind of like just a bit of a mishmash. But otherwise, like, I don't mind it. I'm not that much of offended by the drum sound as some people most seem to be. But yeah, it's like, I probably wouldn't have picked that, but hey, they did. But yeah, it ends up as a bit of a mush in the berserker bit. But like I mentioned before, the 4 on the floor bit, when the song sort of kicks in proper, to me that sounds good, and that's worth checking out if you like a good old bit of rock and roll. Yeah, if you like your progressive Metallica sort of songs, like Justice for All and Fade to Black and stuff like that, and Disposable Heroes, this is probably not going to be one you'll pop on your playlist. Like I think I understand what they were going for with this song. Like I said, we'll tackle the rest of the album another day, because there's a month of material on here. Like, it is dense, and of course the context of the album, and as I mentioned, the companion piece, some kind of monster, the movie. Yeah, there's a lot going on, and yeah, it's very strange to say the least. But I'll say it, I don't mind the song. Like, I find, yeah, I prefer my more progressive Metallica, but I don't mind it, and yeah, like, I'll chuck it on every now and then, and just go, wow, that's a hell of a thing. But yeah, give it a listen if you haven't already. It'll take you to a very strange place in Metallica's history. Yeah, if you want to hear more about not so much Saint Anger the song, but Saint Anger the album, let me know in the comments below, and we might tackle a bit of Frantic or Invisible Kid, The Unnamed Feeling. Yeah, there's actually some good shit. Oh, sorry. There's some good songs on the album, and I don't mind them. But yeah, let me know what you want me to talk about, and I'll show you some riffs, and yeah, we'll go through it from there. But on that note,